Welcome to another live episode of Halftime Adjustments. It's your host, Eddie Arnell, my man, Mr. J. Lou and G. Witt. What's going on, gentlemen?
Tighten up, baby. What's going on?
Tighten up. Week 13 for the Tennessee Titans. And I'm gonna say it like this, starting off, fellas. I know we always come on and ask y'all for some takeaways. I'm gonna start it like this. I still want to hear what you guys took away from today's game. But today had to be, by far, one of the worst performances of the 2025 season today in this game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what they did in practice. Maybe they had too much turkey, and the turkey made them sleepy and sluggish. But, man, they didn't even come to play today. Nobody on either side of the football at all. And I was sitting there thinking, guys, I was like, man, what can come out of this game today? There's a silver lining. So I'm gonna turn it over to y'all and see what y'all say first, and then I'll come back with it at the end. So, G. Witt, man, what, if anything, can you take out of this game today, Week 13, a game which saw the Jaguars, which I didn't think they really dominated the game early on. I thought the defense did a good job keeping us in it. But anyway, man, interesting to hear your thoughts.
Well, one of the first things about it, and you're right, it was one of the worst games they've played. And matter of fact, I texted Jay Lou at the game and told him it's going to be a long game because of the way they were playing. The defense actually did play pretty well, I thought. But the offense, after that first drive, could not do anything. Cam was off with his throwing. I think we're going to have to say about J.C. Latham, he's just going to really, they should just go ahead and put him on IR and see if he can recover, because right now he can't do anything as far as blocking is concerned. I mean, it's horrendous. If there's any good out of this at all, it's just the fact that by playing all the rookies, they're getting some valuable game experience. And I think that will pay dividends in the future. Really, that's the only positive you can come out of this. Big Jeff is Big Jeff. I thought he played well, but then again, as it always is with the Jaguars, the smack talking and everything, people get out of control. I've heard some ugly stuff, so I'm like, okay,
yeah, it was ugly.
I said he really went there. But in all honesty, way too many penalties, especially the timing of those penalties was horrible. It generally always seemed to happen. We get a major penalty during a change of possession. The defense has gone out there and they've held them. And I would say this is probably the worst special teams day we've had all season as well. I know I saw somebody post on X about, DK's miscues over the last, I think, 3 games. And I'm like, yeah, he might have hit that rookie wall too. So, they've been playing a lot of football, getting ready for all that. So I think the downside is that I think all our rookies are really hitting that rookie wall and just not able to compete like consistently enough like they would like to. So, but other than that, like I said, the only positive out of this game that you can say is that the rookies got valuable playing experience.
Yeah, no doubt. I was going to say, too, about Mike McCoy. If you could fire the coach, he needs to be fired, too, man. But, J. Lou, go ahead, man. What did you...
Yeah, I think all y'all that want Mike McCoy fired are looking at this wrong. Yep. He's doing his job, and that's my takeaway.
The tank, yes.
His job is to tank. Yep. Like you are seeing after the first drive today and how the team just changed after that first drive, you're seeing a real live in-person tank by an interim head coach who's probably been asked to tank, because there's no way you threw away the entire playbook after the first drive and went to who knows what you were doing. And I'm going to commend Mike McCoy for being the first NFL head coach to be in on a tank without saying it. And that's all that I took away from this today, is that this coaching staff is they're in on the tank. They might be getting Harlem are probably looking for another job except Bones, but they might be getting a little extra bonus money for the first round pick, because it's unfathomable to understand what you saw from the first drive through the rest of the game. You went. The example is there in the pudding. I think Cam ended up throwing for almost 40 attempts today. The run game was working. The middle of the run game was where Corey Levine looked good at center in the beginning, and you went directly away from it. I mean, Tony Pollard had more yards on the first drive than he had
for the rest of the game.
For the last game he had. So I think this coach and then Cam, when you talk about a rookie wall, this was by far, I think, his worst performance. I think the clock in his head stopped because there was and then you saw him go back to the indecisiveness where did somebody get in his ear and tell him not to run this week? Try to be in the pocket and pass, because there were several opportunities he had to run, several times when he decided to start running and then would throw it away when you could have got yards. So I agree with you, Ed. You don't know if what the practice schedule looked like, being home on a holiday, what that played into it. But this team, they did not come out with that fight. Today was the first time all year that I say this looked like a team that's like, yeah, let's get to Cancun. Like they're done. They look like a team that was done. And to say that you've been at home you haven't left your home since October, and this is the performance you put on today. DK, I will say, I will defend my guy. I don't think DK's I think he's the one rookie that hasn't hit the wall. I think he's just showing us what we missed in somebody that's aggressive.
That's true.
Returner. The fumble, that's just, I mean,
that
was a good play, and he's half an inch away from his knee being down. Yeah. But what you like about that is he comes right back at it, and he's going right back. I thought he had one mistake outside of the fumble. I thought the one mistake he made was the fair catch, like at the 4-yard line. And you saw him pat himself after that one. But I thought, and he was a tripping call away from taking a punt to the house.
Yeah.
Horrible miscall.
Horrible miscall. So I think that's what it is on him, is that we're seeing somebody who has the greenest of green lights since Pac-Man. And so you take that. But other than that, I agree. I thought special teams even had some miscues. But this just looked like a flat football team. And listening to one of the leaders after the game say they need a coach in here that's going to change the culture and all. That's telling.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you said, listening to the after the game, the guys, the interviews, it was crazy. Of course, you already mentioned JC Lathan. I don't know what's happened to JC. Somebody in the chat said maybe moving back to left tackle. Excuse me. I don't know, man. I haven't seen. He's a good, powerful guy, and he's getting pushed off his spot really easy. His technique is bad.
That's the thing.
He gave up the inside really easy to Hines Allen. And to your point, Jay Lee, you said running the ball with Tony Pollard. He was averaging 6 yards a pop, 10 carries, 60 yards, and they went away from him. 14 carries for the whole game.
I got a question about JC before you move on.
Yeah.
And I just thought about this watching him over the last couple of weeks. When's the last time we saw a Bama offensive lineman come into the league and be decent?
I think I was just talking about this with G Witt a few weeks ago. Yeah. I said, Alabama, you usually don't get a lineman or a running back.
They're good in college, but they're not. They don't translate to the pros.
The only one that's actually done anything worth talking about is Kelly up there in Indianapolis.
Yes,
that's it.
That's it.
That is it.
But running back, you're right. Outside of Derrick Henry, I mean, the rest of them fade off.
You got Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah,
him and Gibbs, and Mark Ingram had a pretty decent career as well. Yeah. But you just don't have a lot of them that turn over in the NFL. That's a great point, because we was just talking about that a few weeks ago while we were standing in line at the game. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy to think about it. And so now you have that situation, right? Because now you got question mark at your right tackle, and you got a question mark at your left tackle. And so, some of that draft clout now becomes even more important, because you're going to have to fill those potential spots, right? Because you don't know what JC, can you move him to guard? Who knows? We don't know that.
It's kind of hard to move him to guard, because I have to give this one pundit his credit. He's like, you can't move him to guard because his anchor is so bad, which was supposed to be his strength.
Right.
He's getting pushed all over the field.
Yeah. Tony Pollard ran hard today, I thought,
Yeah.
but you still only give 2 carries to Spears.
Yes.
That's a tank to me. Right?
Yes.
That's a tank to me. And
Yes.
then again, you guys mentioned that you were texting back and forth, and then I jumped in when I was able to. 12 targets to the tight ends you were going to, and then all of a sudden you stopped. And then G, which you said that,
Yeah.
which doesn't make any sense. And Chig is leading your team in receiving, but you don't go to him later on in the game. And he had 5 targets today, and Gunnar had 7.
Yeah.
And so it was working. It was working early, but like I said, like I text y'all, I don't know if it was last week or week before. Tell me I'm tanking when I'm not taking.
Yeah, exactly.
so I'm just saying, if you look at the game. And G was using the text message out earlier in the game about the zone defense. If you look at the game, if you really look at it, it just don't make sense.
It don't.
Especially when you got a single high safety playing a cover 3 or cover 4 with 2 safeties deep in quarters coverage, and you got a post that comes and nobody's in the middle of the field.
Nobody.
Nobody. You got 2 guys on one route going to the corner, and you got a post wide open. I'm just saying, man. I don't. This football team is bad, don't get me wrong, but I just can't believe that there's a professional football team that makes those type of errors week in and week out. I know our coaching is bad, but the talent is not that bad. We just don't have enough of it.
Yeah.
Well, you hit the nail on the head that, because there was some miscues in this game that just absolutely made no sense whatsoever. I mean, and at the game I gave I was giving Kevin Winston a little bit of a hard time, but then when I come back and look at the TV copy, I'm like,
you gotta see it. Yeah.
No, that's not on him.
No, not all of us on him. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a rookie. He made some mistakes, but I'm like, dude, what are y'all calling and what are you doing?
Right. And so
it's the same thing again. That one pass where Cam had Ayamanor and DK
in the same spot.
In the same spot, not even not close to each other, but the
same spot. It's like they ran the same route.
I'm like, how do you have these 2 receivers running the same route?
And not only that, the problem I had with that was the Jaguars had a zone drop.
Mm-hmm.
They blitzed and they dropped the lineman back.
Right.
And DK ran right into him. I'm like, I don't know what that was. It was just the weirdest thing. But Jay Lou, let's talk about the offense, man. Cam, he threw the ball for 38 times a day, 24 out of 38, 141 yards, 3 sacks, no touchdowns, no turnovers. Well, he did have a turnover. I'm sorry about that, but no picks. And so they went away from what was working early, and you saw with Strepo, hadn't heard an update, but it looked like he popped that Achilles. Didn't look good. He went down and wasn't moving that foot too well. And they carted him off.
Real quick on that. I did see something that said that he walked out of the locker room with a limp, but not in a boot.
Yeah, it might be more of a high ankle sprain than anything.
Gotcha.
Which is good news considering when I seen him come off the cart and come our way. But the offense, man, I think, yes, we know that you drafted the number 1 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was one of them games. This was not a game where he should have threw the ball 38 times. And I wonder if you're trying to force feed and develop him that way, which to me is the wrong way to do it, because the run game helps him. Now granted, the run game helps, but we still refuse to run play action. Because we, even as good as our run was on the first drive, you really didn't see a lot of play action.
Mm-hmm.
Last week and the week before, when he played arguably his best games against Houston, who has a championship defense, in Seattle, one of the better teams in the league, you saw them move the pocket a little bit and him be a little bit mobile. You didn't move the pocket. The one time you moved the pocket today on the 4th down call, you rolled out with a Tony Pollard, and that was his only option. You come back and you see Liam Cohen do it with Sunshine 2 times in a row, and he bootlegged and had 3 options on a levels concept wide open. So, I mean, just play concept and all, but I thought the play calling itself didn't help Cam. You started off trying to spread him out with 5 wide, and I think that's his strength when you see what he does at Miami and see that. But there was no rhythm, and no rhythm with the run game. No getting the run game, consistent. No rhythm with the passes. I will say this: his percentage to me, 24-38. It was a little deceiving because a lot of it is check down Charlie. And I mean, that was one time I looked up and he might have been like 13 of 18 for 72 yards. that's just ridiculous when you talk about a pass game that you don't scare anybody getting down the field. Not DK, Alec Ayumanner, he's hit the rookie wall.
Yeah.
Not only with the injury, but I think it's mentally starting to drain on him trying to be a number one. And you saw that a little bit today. The person who you need to feature in this the persons that you need to feature in this offense, we won't do it. And that's Chig and Gunner. You saw Gunner. You can throw something out of bounds and he's still making the catch. He did it today. He did it today.
On y'all's end zone.
On my end zone, yes. On my end zone.
On my end zone. Yeah, I was down there too.
I was like, why are you going away? And he's a mismatch when you spread him out and put him in the slot. But I thought, and I had to go back and look at the pressure. I think the pressures only came from the tackles, but I thought Corey Levine looked better than Cushenberry has. I thought, and again, it's a 1-game sample,
right?
But I thought from the run game and just now the one thing that Corey Levine still struggles with, that he struggled with in preseason, is when we see it in practice. Some of his shotgun snaps are not timely, or they're to the side or far. They throw the timing off a little bit. But I thought overall, from a blocking standpoint, particularly in the run game, I thought that guard center triangle looked better today. But I mean, I don't know what to say about this. The development of this offense, you take 2 steps forward and we've taken 7 back in just one game, because I don't know what it's hard when you don't have an identity and you don't know what the scheme's going to be, particularly, and we've been saying this for going on 2 years now. If you look at the Callahan system, they can script plays to begin a game, and then we can't adjust.
Fall off the cliff.
It falls off. We don't have the playbook to do the rest of the game. And you saw that today with the offense. You had the lead. You went down and scored the first 3 points of the game and never. I mean, you got shut out one time, and I agree with what you said at the beginning, Eddie. We got shut out in Houston. This game was worse to me than that Houston game.
Yeah, and because it was more cohesiveness. Today it was like I said, man, it's like they took 2 or 3 steps backwards.
Yes.
And last week we of course they didn't win, and there's no false hope or anything, no moral victories. But you saw them playing so well last week.
Yes.
It's like this week they went back to week 1.
Yep. Yes.
But Callahan was still here. So let me get a few of these comments, G, with it. I'll turn it over to you, man. Let's see. Dion said there's no question marks at tackle. They just suck. Nathan, hey, we've been saying it for years, man. It goes back to Conklin. We've been saying it year after year after year. Nathan also says hard to root for a tank versus divisional teams, J. Lou. So thank y'all for coming, man. Darius, Will, Eddie Gray's out there, man. Appreciate you coming tonight, man. Mikey Jones. Let's go. G. West. So go ahead, man, about the offense from your viewpoint.
Well, I thought J. Lou pretty much covered it pretty well. Yeah, I text, like I said, I text you guys in the middle of the game. I'm like, how do you go away from the tight ends completely? I mean, even on that catch out of bounds that Gunner made, I was telling the people up there, I said, okay, he made a rookie mistake. He made a rookie mistake by running to the sideline and not giving himself enough room to actually make a good catch and be in bounds. I know the safety was there with him, but he had enough leverage. He could have stayed on, if he had kept a straight line, I think he would have had more room. It might have been a better catch and everything. But you're right, J. Lou. He's catching the ball wherever you throw it to him.
Everything.
All hands.
Yes.
All hands. He's catching the ball. And I thought Chig was catching the ball pretty well also. But yeah, it just didn't. I agree with you guys. It just didn't make sense how you have that first drive going and you're using the tight ends and you're running the ball up the middle. Then all of a sudden you get your second possession and you decide we're going to start running the ball outside.
Yes.
And we're going to start throwing passes outside instead of throwing it to the tight ends who were open in the middle.
Right.
It's really, again, like you guys said, and you guys know I hate tanking with a passion. Don't believe in it. But that's exactly what they're doing. They're being creative with their tanking. Let me put it like that.
Yes.
Because obviously, after you see it last week, you played against Seattle, and you go for it on 4th down 7 times.
Yes.
And then you had opportunities in this game early to go for it on 4th down on short yardage situations, and you don't even take it. And like you said, Cam's not looking to run, and whereas last week against Seattle, he was quick and decisive with his run. He saw the opening, he took it. So obviously, like you said, somebody done got in his ear, told him don't run, stick in the pocket, let the play develop out for you and all that, because you don't want to get in that habit. And he ended up holding the ball too long on some cases, and was missing a lot of throws. I mean, the bottom line, he missed quite a few throws today. The running game, like you said, was doing good until they decided they were going to start going outside. And I agree with you. I don't understand how our boy Tajay Spears only gets two carries. You didn't even try. And I'm not going to get into the offensive line, man, because that's a broken record. We're on skip with them because we're saying the same thing each and every week. But like I said earlier, I think what you find in this version of the Titans is the fact that with all the rookies out there, especially on the offensive side of the ball, you got a strong core of good rookies, especially at the receiving position. And I still believe at the quarterback position, the question is going to be, can you find a good running game? And can you finally do something with this offensive line? Because this is year 5 with this offensive line being horrible?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, come on now, 5 years and you can't get it right, and it's been different coaches.
Yes.
I mean, even Daddy Bill had struggled getting them right. So, it's just one of the things, man, that I just don't understand how this can go on for this long and nobody can get it right at all.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
So let's go back a few weeks to a comment that was made. And this is how you know they tanking. Now, they can say what they want, but when Big Jeff came out and he said he didn't understand Bergonzi's vision at first, but now he does. They had to get him to buy into losing. They did. They did. And so they was like, look, we know you don't want to lose, but trust us. We finna have this thing turn around the next couple seasons by the time we go into the new stadium. And so they had to sell him on it. And I think that's what he was saying. I really do. Because there's no way in the world you don't go for it on 4th down every time. You've only won one game.
You're 1-10.
It's just like I say about the blitzes. You blitz. Who cares if you get burned? I'm hitting the quarterback every play I can.
Every time.
Just to make him think that I'm blitzing so he can throw a ball to me. Sunshine, you know how bad he is. Oh my God. We made him look like all pro today.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just saying, man. And I don't like taking it either, G. But I'm right there with you, man. But golly, it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. None of this stuff that's going on is making any sense. That you only give 2 carries to your most explosive back the whole game. And he get, 1 catch, maybe? 2 the most?
He actually had 6.
He had 6. So you couldn't even tell.
But you got to, that's what I was just going to say. Those 6 were all check downs because he averaged 4 yards a catch.
Right. So 11 first downs today, 2 of 12 on 3rd down for the offense, 1 of 4 on 4th down. 188 yards of total offense. That's just abysmal. 3.4 yards of play, 121 passing. Of course, Cam was 24-38 on that, and then 67 yards rushing as a team. And Tony Pollard had 60 of that. And so those penalties, again, like you guys mentioned, 10 of 86. We had actually mentioned that as a bright spot the last 4 or 5 weeks, and now here we go again. Yeah. It's like we just started back over from day one. Oh man! So defense, G-Wit. Anything off the defensive side of the ball? I will say this before you get going. You hardly, and I'm not going to say he didn't play hard today, but even Big Jeff wasn't Big Jeff today for whatever reason it was. And I know he's getting a lot of double teams, and I know that he had a harsh comment that was said to him today that made him get mad. I don't know if y'all heard his presser, man.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, G.
Well, I would say this about Big Jeff. Yeah, I think earlier in the game, but again, I think when it came down to people just totally disrespecting him, you saw him turn it on
Yep.
and he
Yes.
started giving them the blues. I
Mhm.
mean, his sack came against a double team where he just split it and went right through him. So everybody, again, looking at the TV broadcasts when I got home and everything, I thought it was telling when Archuleta said at the trade deadline, 31 teams called the Titans to see if they could get Big Jeff. So,
No
so
way.
and he was like, and he told them, I told the reporters, I don't want to leave. I want to stay here.
Mhm.
So, anyway, so you look at that. Um, there was just some untimely things that happened today that just didn't make sense on the defensive side of the ball. Couldn't understand how they were allowing the middle of the field to be so wide open.
Mhm.
And not getting any kind of pressure on Sunshine at all. I mean, you start off, Kevin Winston Jr. gets a sack,
Mhm.
and you bring a blitz, from him, a delayed blitz, he gets home, and you don't run it for the rest of the game. Uh, you play in those long downs like 3rd and 9, third and 8. You're playing so far off the line of scrimmage that guys are just getting free releases and getting past everybody.
Mhm.
Again, I'll say this, as much as I like Cedric Gray, he has to be better and he has to get some weight on him because I think he's just too light. Overall, again, I go back, I think the rookie, Winston Jr., I think Harris, both of those guys, I thought, for rookies, they played okay. They played okay. They're playing the game, but our veterans, Arden Key had some good moments, but then again, he had some bad moments too. I thought that was a weak call on the roughing the passer penalty. I did. I thought that was weak. I mean, he's outside the pocket, he threw the ball, boom. He got hit. What do you want him to do? And what else was it? I mean, we got our sacks and everything, but other than that, but I will say this truthfully. You think about it, as often as Jacksonville had the ball, we held them to what, 15 points for the longest.
Yeah.
Really, they shouldn't have got that if it wasn't for a penalty.
Yep.
Like I said, untimely penalties really cost us in a lot of those situations where we stopped them cold. And if we had an offense worth a flip, it would have been a different game. But our defense actually played okay enough. They played good enough to win. It's just that, the tank is on the offensive side, so they're definitely making sure that they're not going to score any points.
Yeah. Elam didn't play today. He didn't.
He
The DB he picked up. No.
Elam.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. J. Lou, go ahead, and I'm gonna say something about the defense too.
So, I mean, the end of G with the statement was what I was gonna say. I thought the defense played good, and I know I've been giving Denard heck. I thought they did decent. When you look at, I mean, the Jaguars were 3 of 13 on third down.
Yes.
If I think last week when we mentioned what is the keys to winning this game, stop at ETN. He had 20 yards rushing.
Yes.
You stopped the rushing. Sunshine got away a few times, but he didn't really beat you. It just, you couldn't score. Like when you have an offense that's not playing complimentary football, you got the ball. When the offense got the ball one time, you gave it to him because the punt return is defense. You gave it to him on the 40-yard line, or maybe the 35. And then one of the guys that sit in front of me was like, hey, we're going to double our score on this drive. And at the end of the drive, I was like, oh, we forgot option C. That was not getting no points at all. Because how did you get no points from the 38? So, and from a frustration standpoint, you heard it again from some of the defense. And this is why I say I think that we're going to see worse football the next 5 weeks, because I think you're about to see the team start to split because the friction's there. You heard it from some defenders after the game, Big Jeff included, where they kept mentioning it's a 3 and out, or sudden change you back on the field. Because I thought the good exchange was between him and TD. TD was like, in the past, Big Jeff, you said y'all are like the fireman. Y'all got to go put the fire out. Big Jeff was like, yeah, but, just sometimes, it is what it is. That's telling that when you have an offense that can't spot you any points, what can you do? Because, I mean, when you look at the Jags stats, outside of Jacoby Myers having almost 100 yards, which he's got speed, they didn't do nothing. The DBs that we have held up for the most part. Every DB is gonna get beat, and I mean that's NFL just happens. But they held up. I thought that Denard. Now I would have liked to see Denard dial up a few more blitzes. And he didn't, especially after the first drive. But I thought all things considering, particularly with what he was going with in the backfield, and from a DB standpoint, played well. The zone concept, it's the middle of the field, and they finally adjusted near the middle of the game and kind of adjusted that. But going into halftime, every single pass was across the middle, and there was nobody, a linebacker, safety, corner, nobody within shouting distance of the receiver. I thought that Big Sweat, I thought this was one of his better games against the run. You saw him. If it wasn't the first play of the game, it was the second play of the game. You saw the hustle play from him when he ran the sideline to make a tackle. So like to see that. And then again, Arden Key, you see some of these defenders. Yeah, it was a little chippy, and it's gonna be like that with Jacksonville. And this defense is gonna talk their noise regardless. But I think you see some of these defenders trying to play. And to your point, G, when you just said when the offense isn't giving them any points, I think because you don't have a leader as far as a head coach right now, don't be surprised over these next 5 games. You see some of that friction spread out on the field. That's just my opinion, just from hearing the defense and seeing the performance that they gave today.
Yeah, and you knew it's gonna happen. I mean, I didn't experience it at this level, but I experienced it when your defense is really good, your offense is not that good. I mean, and it's frustrating because you're on the field a lot, and your offense is not scoring points. And so I do like this. I do like that Jihad Ward continues to be a surprise for this defense. He continues to get sacks, and he plays the run very well. Winston Jr., I think we got a dog there. I like how aggressive he is. Of course, he's still learning on the go. You got to remember he missed the first half of the season almost, from being injured.
And basically all of
all training camp. And training camp for the most part. And so he's still working his way in that role. I do like this, though, that Marcus Harris was put on the island when he played man-to-man coverage. So he learned some stuff today. Brian Thomas Jr. was considered one of the offensive rookie of the year last year. And so, he got some good exposure today. Played well.
He did.
Played well. And to your point, J. Lou, just for him holding, or just for them holding as a team, Brian Thomas to 2 catches. Now, again, this guy, and I know he just came back off an injury, but this guy was one of the best receivers in the NFL last year. Now, you mentioned Jacoby Myers, even Tim Patrick. These guys are not bad guys. These are some pretty talented receivers. And then ATN, like you mentioned, 28 yards rushing and 1 for 13 on receiving. So the defense played well. I do like the fact, and I think this is the first time we've seen this stunt from Denard when he used Key and Winston, and they ran like a tech stunt. And where has that been? We haven't seen that all year.
No.
And so, just a little stuff like that, man, makes you like, you know what? We could do stuff like that and it'll work. But they're not doing it. And I know he can do it because we saw it. We saw it when he first came here. Then I like this combination too. And I don't know if Sebastian Joseph Day is on this team next year. I would think he is because he's a solid contributor to the defense. But with Joseph Day, Sweat, and Big Jeff on the defensive line, that's something to deal with.
Yes.
They play really well together. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if he's going to come back next year, but I hope he does because we have something there between those 3. Those are some good run defenders. I wouldn't mind seeing Jihad Ward back next year as a run defender. He's one of the bigger free agent surprises that we have that's actually paying off on the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, not too many stunts, had some sacks. Big Jeff has sacks. He's 6.5 sacks now. So that's 5 seasons in a row that he's had 5+ sacks. And so he's doing well there. But again, it's just hard to figure out this zone concept and how Cody continues to drop. The middle of the field is open, and it's just a great tank, if you will.
You left off one person I'd like to see back on that D line too.
Go ahead,
James Lynch.
Yes, James Lynch.
James Lynch is a good rotational player.
He is.
Really, and he usually spells Jeff for the most part. They had him in there a couple times, but he spelled, and there's no drop off. I think he had a pass. I think he had a tip
He
tip
did.
ball
He
or something
did.
on a pass earlier. So he's one too that as you talk about those rotational guys and some veterans that you'll need that were on 1-year contract, I like to see him brought back next year as well.
272 yards total for the Jags today. 202 passing, 70 rushing, 2 for 2 in the red zone, 3 for 13 on third down. Again, just shows you how well the defense was playing today. They had 13 penalties for 98 yards. The game did get chippy, as you all know, and it is part of that nasty rivalry between the Titans and the Jags. Yeah, I was thinking too today, guys. Just like Deion Sanders says, hey, we get receipts, man. We keep receipts.
Yeah.
All this stuff, everybody's chomping at the mouth. We just keeping those receipts.
Yes.
Our day is coming. It's coming. We just gotta be patient. It's coming. It's gotta be right. It's gotta be. Gotta have some hope, man. Gotta have some hope, G. With special teams.
No. Like I said, I agree with you guys. Like I've told you over the years, I don't like tanking. I'd rather not see it. And obviously it's happening this year. But again, there are some bright spots, and I will say this in defense of the roster. It's definitely a lot better than what Ken Wisenhunt had when he went 2-14 and 3-15.
Right.
I mean 3-12 or whatever it was. But 3-13. But anyway, I think but you got some of the same problems though he had. I mean, if you remember back then, he didn't have an offensive line either, and could not get that straight. And like I said, 5 years in a row, we've had a horrible offensive line. So something's got to be done about this because of, again, there's got to be some consistent offensive linemen out there who can actually play the positions.
Oh yeah, there is. There is. We just don't have them.
We just don't have him. I mean, this is pathetic.
Yeah. Dewey Cheatham and House said, how many times today do we have two receivers in the same area? Too many times.
A lot.
Too many times to count, man. I mean, and it's not just today. It's like that all the time.
Yeah.
Think about the Chig catch, the 38-yard catch he had last week. And it was Van Jefferson was running up the corner right over top of him. I'm like, why are they both in the same area?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, week after week after week. And I would say this too, then I'm going to let you talk about the special teams, J. Lou. Logan Cook, punter for the Jaguars.
Did you talk about receipts?
Yeah, you talking about receipts. There's one right there.
Yeah.
Because this guy, not only should he got called for a tripping, but he also should have had a personal foul call when they had that big melee. And not only him, but the snapper, 46, he's pulling people off. You can't even do that.
Yes.
And they eject Mike Brown because he grabbed his face mask. Like, come on.
Yeah. No.
Go ahead, J. Lou, special teams, man.
Yeah. When you talk about receipts, Logan Cook better remember that we played him the end of the year.
Yeah.
We're going to be checked out and in Cancun for real by then, but they're going to remember that receipt because he almost got away with a fake. I thought the personal foul that they called on the roughing the kicker.
That was terrible.
He didn't hit the plant leg. He landed on him. And then the second one, when they picked up the flag, that should have been. He was flopping like he was in the NBA on that one. So yeah, I thought special teams again for all that he has, and Bones is hands down. I mean, I'm going to blame Bones for the delay of game today because he doing too much talking, trying to coach up Mike McCarthy, and he can't call a timeout.
Wow, you had 3 timeouts.
You had 3 timeouts. Bones is coaching you. Bones should have called the timeout. But,
he should have.
You like what you see from DK because, again, he's on pace to shatter the all-purpose yards record. I mean, shatter it. So you like what you see from there. I thought our punting was a little terrible today, especially the few times we had the wind going to the wind. Now, even though the punts were terrible, coverage was good. And again, you lost one of your gunners after the melee when you lost Mike Brown and saw no drop-off there. And then, I mean, special teams scored our only points because we got the one field goal that he made. But I thought from a punt coverage standpoint, you continue, no matter what the moving parts are and all that, you continue to see that unit being coached up every single. That's the one consistency that you can look for this year is that, special teams has been consistent every week. And again, I'll say it, and I'll be down at Amy's office in January when they hire a new coach. Bones needs to be on this staff next year. That we talk about the marrying up Cam with you thought you had him with Callahan. That might have been the secret sauce, marrying up Bones with special teams and giving him DK.
Yeah,
because he's unlocked something in DK. And again, yes, he had the fumble and maybe the fair catch and last week, whatever. But you like to see that you got somebody coaching him who's not making him gun shy. Because that was twice today that I thought DK should have called fair catch.
I did too.
And he was like, yeah, I'm just going to take it and see what's what. And he was making stuff work. So you like to see that, he has a veteran coach who's trusted him in that. But I mean, special teams, it was solid. Clean up the penalties. They're going to, Ed, you keep talking about it. They're going to block a punt. They literally almost had two today when the Jags went off sides. And then 21 was very close to blocking a field goal as well. So I think we see one of those happen over the next 5 weeks for the special teams unit.
To your point, Jay Lou, and I'll kick it over to you, G Witt, as far as special teams. Just look at the how many times we punted today. 5 punts for Johnny Hecker today, right? Had 1 touchback, 57 is alone. 1 punt return for Jacksonville today, and that was 14 yards.
That's it. One, yes.
I mean,
yes,
that tells a lot.
That tells a lot about the coverage.
Tells you a lot. Yes. That's right. That he has to fair catch a bunch, right? So I mean, to your point, the special teams unit is the best unit of this football team. But go ahead, G Witt.
No, I agree with everything that Jay Lou said. And the Jacksonville punter, he got caught. He got caught one time. And I was up there screaming like, okay, you're now going to relinquish that Academy Award you tried to get. You take the price in there, sticking your nose in where you shouldn't be. And I agree that there are going to be some receipts in the last game of the season. Somebody's going after them, and they might say, it's the last game of the year. We ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
Take them. I don't know. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not wishing that it happens, but I'm just saying – football players can sometimes, if they're anything, they can be aggressive. They can be like, I ain't got nothing to lose.
Yep.
You can find me and I'm through for the season. I'm coming back next year. But in all honesty, DK, again, even when I go, like I said, I went back and looked at the TV broadcast, the fumble. It was just a great play on that fumble. I had to give Jacksonville the credit. Because as a matter of fact, first I thought he was just carrying the ball too loose. But when you look at the replay, he was actually in the process of covering up when he went down. And dude's shoulder pad just happened to hit the ball just right, and it came on out. I thought he made some great decisions on some plays today, like when the ball was kicked short and it bounced, and on the second bounce right at the 40-yard line, he took it and took off. I'm like, smart play. I mean, you had it wide open. Go ahead and take it. Keep losing more yards. The one he came back on again on the hit that the Jacksonville punter took, great play on his part. He grabbed that ball, went around. He had a wall, and in all honesty, I think if he gets a bit better block of a pancake block, that tripping doesn't happen and he's gone.
Yes.
Yes. So, but
cheap, man. It was cheap. That was dirty.
It was dirty. It was dirty. But again, Hecker, I thought, like you said, the punt coverage was good. He punted the ball well. But again, I just thought we had some, what I like to say, just some untimely penalties on that caused us some problems. And that's the only downside I had to special teams right there. We just had some untimely penalties, but overall, you really can't complain about them. Again, like you said, the fair catch down inside the 5, that was not, something he should have done, and he knows that. So, but again, the one ball he caught when it bounced off, I thought it hit off of one of our players, was the reason why he grabbed it, but it actually hit off the Jacksonville player. So, other than that, I didn't see any problems with it. I thought DK, like I said, he may be hitting a rookie wall with the mistakes on the fumbles and everything, but really, like you said earlier, J. Lou, I don't think so.
Yeah, good heads up play by him that it hit the Jacksonville player and he picks it up because it's first touching. And so anything that happens after that, unless there's a penalty, it'll belong to the Titans. So very good job by him in that. And so looking at the AFC South, got a new leader. This week, the Jags have moved up to first place, 8-4. The Colts 8-4. The Texans 7-5. Of course, the Titans are 1-11. Yeah, Eddie Gray says, "Got rid of Ben, Roger, and Conklin for nothing." If y'all didn't know, they put Roger McCurry on IR last week, and he is done for the year. I think.
I think he's talking about Stafford in that.
Yes,
roster.
yes,
Yeah,
scaffold. Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
So he's talking
Yeah, but
about
anyway,
J-Rob's
Roger McCreary
O-line.
did go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodney says, "Do we knows how half empty the stadium was before the half? It was half empty when the game started."
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It
Roger.
when the game
Yeah,
started.
it was empty.
Oh my god!
I think I got that about 11:15. It took me and Kenny like 10 minutes to walk into the stadium because it was just no traffic. So
Hey, here's a tell sign. I left here. Me and my wife left here about a quarter after 11, and got to our parking spot. Wait a minute! Stopped at Starbucks to get coffee. Got to our parking spot, and really only missed the first series of defense. That's all we missed.
Yeah,
that's because I had to stop at the season tickets table to talk to my rep.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why we missed all of that. So, there was nobody at the game today. It was just completely empty, which I knew was going to happen when it was raining this morning. That nobody's going.
Yeah. Dewey said he hates the Colts more than the Jags. So
I can attest to that. he roots against the Colts anytime they score comes up. He's making sure they're losing. Which, by the way, when you talk about other teams in our league, I just want to say something about the Colts because I'm petty. Yes, they traded 2 number 1s for Sauce Gardner, who got hurt today.
Yep.
And you now have been caught by the Jags and the Texans because you got to play them 3 more times combined. So
got to play them 3 more times. And Daniel Jones has a fractured fibula.
Yes.
That he's playing on, which I don't even know how he's running. How many
yards did Jonathan Taylor have today?
I didn't even look at the stats, but I will tell you as we're talking about the Browns coming up next week. I'm going to tell you what. If they don't do something to help J.C. Latham, Cam will get murdered.
He's setting the record next week. I already called it. Myles Garrett is setting the single season record next week.
Wow. I mean, really. Now, the Cleveland offense might be bad, but their defense still good.
Number 2 defense in the league.
Yeah, that defense is
a whip, man. Your boy got him going.
Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 85 yards.
Yep. See, that's it.
So
people are starting to figure him out, man. You stop Taylor, you're gonna stop the Colts.
I told you. You put the ball in Daniel's hands.
Hey,
he gonna show up.
I said the only reason he was gonna be good because they had a running game. But again, it's November, December. It's when the rubber meets the road. So you find out who's real and who's not.
Who's the comp to Daniel Jones? Trevor Lawrence. Same stats, same everything, same career numbers. But the Browns, man, at the Browns, of course, a lot's going to be made about the Shedeur Cam versus, number 1 versus, well, he's supposed to be number 2, but ended up going 5th round, as we all know. 12 noon on Fox. Like I said, if they don't figure out how to block between now and Sunday, it might be uglier than what we've seen here lately, as of today as well. So, what's your opinion on the Browns for next week?
Well, again, like I said earlier, they're the number 2 defense in the league, and Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett. He's definitely defensive player of the year without a doubt, and he might break He's probably going to break Michael Strahan's sack record.
Next week.
And the reason why I don't say next week, Jay Lewis, simply because, regardless, I know we're tanking, but you don't want Myles Garrett to continue to hit your quarterback because that joker will hurt him royally. So you better come up with something similar like you had against Houston, where Cam is getting that ball out quickly somehow or another, or he's running and getting down or whatever, but you don't want him taking all those hits from Myles Garrett and the rest of that defensive line because your boy Swarsy, he's coming for him.
Yes, he is.
You got a weak offensive line?
Yes.
He's coming for him. He's going to tell everybody, it'd be like that last time Mike Vrabel coached against him. He was on the sideline laughing at him because he couldn't make up your mind. So, they're going to have to come up with some kind of game plan and everything to get the ball out of Cam's hands quickly. Whether it be you running on 3 straight downs and you're punting, but you can't let your quarterback take that many hits from that big joker, man, because Myles Garrett is just simply no joke.
Right. Jalen, what about you, man?
Myles Garrett needs 5.5 sacks to break the record.
Yes.
Oh,
That's very doable.
doable. That
Next
is
week.
Doable.
extremely
Yes.
doable.
That's
against
very
us.
so. Not only I hear what you say, G Wit, and the one thing I'll say about Cam, and even today with some of his sacks, you have yet, knock on wood, yet to really see him take the big sack hits.
That's
Most of
true.
his sacks is he's just been in the pocket, moving forward, and then falls down. So I can see that happening 5 times in the first half with this line, simply because the way that you combat that is you go 12 personnel, and we all are intelligent guys of knowing football, and even our audience to know the Titans will go 12 personnel the first 6 plays of the game. It will be efficient, and then they'll just stop doing it.
That's right.
So because I don't think you can chip enough, and let's just be honest, Myles Garrett can pick which side. Because both sides of the line,
it don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's what's so scary.
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
the
scary.
part that's scary. So,
but think about the last time we played them. It was just like that.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was just like that. Pick a side. You know,
Yes.
you know it's bad enough to where what was it? Tannehill kept having to readjust the scheme, the blocking assignment, just to move around them and everything.
They called it a time. I'll never forget that game because we got a delay game where we called it timeout because Myles Garrett kept pump faking back and forth.
Yes.
And we would change the play each time. So
Yes.
It's again, this is one of those games where if you can get a special team score and you can get a defensive score, because again, now you got to stop their running game. They got a rookie quarterback, Shador starting. They got a dynamic rookie running back, Quayshawn Jenkins, I believe, is who they have. So they got good running backs. They have some skilled players. I mean, you've got 2 tight ends. They can run 2 tight ends set. You got Judy over there, a wide receiver. So you've got, skill player wise, they probably match up a little bit better than us. But you still have a rookie quarterback who you can probably get to make you some mistakes. Because just like our rookie quarterback is going to hold the ball and want to escape through the back of the pocket, Shador still thinks that he can escape through the back like all rookies do because they're faster in college than they are in pro. So this is one of those games where you're going to, to pull the upset, and it would be an upset over Cleveland because they probably will be favored. To pull the upset, you need a special team score, and you need to take advantage of the rookie on the other side and your defense putting you in positions to where you can score. Because this could be the type of game where this could be a Joey Sly game where he can win the game. He can actually win the game for you.
And a Johnny Hecker.
His leg. And a Johnny Hecker, yeah. Joey Sly and Johnny Hecker, this could be their game. But and to me, that's the game plan. Don't get away from the run. To your point, G, when we talk about slowing down Myles Garrett and all that, be consistent with the running game. I look at the Carolina Panthers as a team that, I mean, they pulled an upset today. I think they were down by like 14, but you never see them get away from the run game to kind of help their young quarterback. So this is one of those where even if you're 10 points down, still stick with the running game and don't allow Myles Garrett the opportunity to have his ears pinned back, knowing that you got to pass so you can get out of that. Maybe an upset victory.
And they got some pretty good speed at receiver as well. Yes. You mentioned Judkins as running back. I think there's an opportunity on their offensive line to get Shador. I think if they're not really tanking, this could be the week that we see more zone blitzes causing confusion. Yeah. But who are we talking about here? We talking about the Titans. But yeah, it's a tough matchup, a 4-3 defense. Good linebacker play. Carson Swessinger, Devin Bush, Denzel Ward, a corner, one of the best in the league. Grant Delpit, a man that talks smack to Derrick Henry, said he can't run him over and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a pretty good game for them. It's gonna be tough to go to Cleveland. In Cleveland, it's probably gonna be cold. A lot of got to deal with that, the weather, the field conditions. They have grass, and let's see. Dewey said the line is 4.5 right now.
4.5 for Cleveland. So yeah,
38.5 over under. So
that is again. I just said that is a Sly and Hecker game.
That's right. I mean, I agree with you, man. It's gonna be one of those games where field position is gonna be the key. Special teams is gonna have to make a big play. we might need to see a DK punt return or
return.
kickoff return. We hadn't seen a kickoff
we
return
hadn't-
touchdown yet that stood. It got
Nope.
called back.
Uh-huh.
And so, one of those things are going to have to happen for us to even have a chance to win this game. And I agree with you, Dion. It should be a focus of winning, but keeping our quarterback healthy.
And surviving. You're right, Dion.
And Dewey says, take the under.
Under.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustment, man. Check us out next week as we go over the Titans at the Browns, 12 noon on Fox next Sunday. Check us out, man. We'll be right here. Thank you for all the comments and questions for the show. Support of the show, man. Again, if you hadn't signed up for the YouTube channel, do so. And if you're on Facebook, man, we're on there as well as live and also on Twitch, man. So several ways to follow us here on the show. But again, thank y'all for joining us, man. Eddie on there, G with J. Lou, Halftime Adjustments. We out here, man. Peace.